Alright, hello guys, and welcome to our first winter thoughts video for the winter of 2022 to 2023. That sounds so weird. This is like the fourth or fifth year we've been doing this, and I am so excited. I made it a little bit later this year, I think, than my first one in the years past, but I just wanted to wait and do this one when it felt right, and today's when it feels right. I had a couple requests coming in recently for this, and I just wanted to go ahead and do it. So we're taking a look here at the precipitation forecast here on the CFS model. And as a bonus, we're just going to be going from June to February. So we're going to walk through the entire summer, fall, and winter on this. I feel like that's just better in general. So for the month of June, there's no surprise here. We expect a lot of precipitation for the southeast. That is kind of the upcoming pattern. We're going to really just breeze through these ones that are upcoming soon because it's not what this video is about. July looks pretty stormy for the East Coast, also for some of the portions of the Four Corner states, although, above average precipitation out here doesn't necessarily mean a lot because your average is very low to begin with. Things do look much more dry here for the central and northwestern United States for the month of July, so that is worth noting as well. In August, we still have some stormy conditions here for the eastern portions of the country. So for a lot of the deep south, the southeast, and even up through the Ohio Valley, we are expecting quite a bit of above average precipitation according to our CFS model for the month of August. All right, now I breezed through the summer ones because I'm pretty sure none of you came here to see any summer videos, but let's go ahead and take a look real quickly at the September forecast real quickly. And things do look a little bit more dry here for the East Coast in the month of September. Obviously, one single tropical system could completely disrupt any of this because they tend to bring above average precipitation on a monthly forecast to anywhere they hit, but that can't be forecasted in the long range. So unexpected things can happen during these hurricane months that need to be taken into account. Obviously, if you live in North Dakota, I wouldn't really sweat it. But if you live in Florida or anywhere along the Gulf Coast or East Coast, you might want to take that into account as well with this. For October, things do get a little bit more wet here for the eastern United States, to say the least. This could be due to some nor'easter type storms that come up the coast. Those tend to start in September, October timeframe. But not only that, some tropical systems could work their way into the area. Also the east here, it looks like there is some sort of activity here that this model is picking up on. Take it all with a grain of salt. We still are looking at very long range here, but it is definitely worth noting, in my opinion, here that this October forecast does look to feature quite a bit of precipitation there in the eastern United States. Now for the northwest here, we do also expect some above average precipitation out there for Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana. I think that's also quite a big thing to mention. This year, we kind of saw a little less activity for that region, and then it picked up over time over the whole fall, winter, and spring months, whereas we reached the wintertime and springtime, and it was just, rolling out there in the northwest. We could see an early start there to the rainy season. Now, as we approach November, overall it looks like a drier month. I think a lot of the interior regions of the United States have the most near normal or above normal precipitation ongoing, and then we see that around the coasts here, horseshoeing around the nation, we have below normal precipitation. All the way from the northwest, down through the southwest, through the south central, down through the southeast, and even up into the northeast, we see that dry conditions are prevailing. For December, here we see that we get a little bit more activity reaching the eastern seaboard. This could feature a jet stream that looks a little bit like this at times, obviously. This could bring some storminess for this region in the wintertime, as we oftentimes will see a southern jet meet up with the northern jet, and that allows storms to just ride right along it. It does look like quite a bit of storms would be coming from this northern jet as well. We would call these Alberta clippers, obviously, storms that track in just like this, sort of. That could be what's causing the above average precipitation around that arrow I just drew. But it also does look like some southern slider / nor'easter storms look to be a part of the forecast here as of now for December of 2022. Now moving into 2023, this is going to be January. So weird to say 2023, especially this early on. We see dry out for the west coast, also for the northeast and the southeast for the most part. But for more interior regions of the east and the south central United States, we expect a ton of precipitation here from Texas and Louisiana up through Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, and even in through the Ohio Valley here. We expect quite a bit of storminess. Not exactly sure what would cause this type of storm track. Maybe a southeast ridge that is kind of bringing some warmer, drier air up here, but I would figure the jet stream would look something like this in this type of a scenario, and there could be some snowfall here for the Ohio Valley, especially here, these regions, with this type of a pattern, which that area has been severely lacking over the past probably 5 winters or more. So it would be interesting to see you guys get a really good winter during this upcoming winter. And then February, things shift a little bit further southeastward, as we can see here. Still dry a little bit there for the west, a little less dry this time around, but it looks like the southeast gets quite a bit of precipitation, maybe some nor'easters getting going and southern sliders here for the month of February of 2023. That's kind of what I'm seeing here from this model. Now, for the temperature forecast from the CFS model, we see for June, we're starting back over. We see cold here for the northwest and warm everywhere else compared to normal. For July, really torchy here, okay? Warm from coast to coast, near normal here for these regions maybe, but overall not a lot of cold compared to normal. August is the same story. September looks very similar. I would expect that we would have some cold air working its way into the north central United States by this point. October, very torchy here on this model as well. Maybe very hot in the eastern United States, to say the least. Let's move this on. November, it looks like we have a bit of a ridge in the west setting up and maybe some cold air trying to work its way into the eastern United States. That trough isn't really digging deep. You know, a deep digging trough would look more like this for this time of year, where we could get some very frigid air in here. This is not what this looks like, but it is kind of moving in a colder direction. And then for December, we really get a southeast ridge working its way in by this point, is the biggest feature I see here. Definitely a bit of a high pressure system somewhere in here, really just doming that cold air around. So probably more cold air up above and not really able to work its way down into these regions. Now for January, we see that some neutral temperatures are able to make their way into the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, Northeast, but really here for the Southeast and the South Central United States, mostly looking at warmer than normal conditions for most everybody in these regions. So we're going to have to see if this changes. Again, take it with a grain of salt. We are taking a very, very long-range look here, and a lot could change. But at this point, it is looking a little bit warmer for the Southeast, I would say. And same story in February, maybe a little less warm, but the cold is really just up in these northern regions. And I'm not just talking about cold in general, because you might be thinking, well, obviously the cold is in Michigan and Maine and New York, not Florida and Louisiana. But this is all compared to what your average temperature is. So whatever Texas's average temperature is in February, it's looking even higher than that average temperature. Minnesota, you're looking a little bit warmer than your average temperatures, or maybe near normal to those average temperatures. So that is the look here on the CFS model. Now what we're going to do is move on and take a look at the JAMSTEC model real quickly. Now here's the JAMSTEC. This is the sea surface temperature anomalies. First things first, we can see a little bit of a La Nina going on in here, these colder than normal conditions. Maybe a La Nada, which would mean basically not too far above or below normal. This looks a little bit far above below normal in my opinion. We do see a bit of a warmer PDO up here. Okay, a little bit confused. We don't see any clear cold out here and then warm in here. That's usually what you'd be looking for, or cold over here and warm over here. It looks a little warmer over here and a little cooler over here, but it's not a distinguished PDO, I would say. Also, the North Atlantic is warmer overall. We need to note that as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the air temperature forecast real quickly. And this model is saying torch from coast to coast. Okay, December, January, February, this is all 3 months. And we see just warmer for all of North America. Overall, this model is calling for a lot of cooler air. I would say neutral or colder air here for the southern hemisphere. And then if we look at the northern hemisphere, I mean, mostly warmer than normal. So that is interesting to note as well. I would take this with a grain of salt. This model tends to flip-flop a lot here, this JAMSTEC model. And we're going to be updating you guys at least monthly on all of these things. So keep that in mind as well. Now, here's the precipitation forecast here from the JAMSTEC model also. And we do have some more wet conditions expected here for Canada and the northern United States, but the southern United States is much drier, which is sort of typical anytime you're not dealing with an El Nino. El Ninos bring a ton of precipitation into the southeastern United States, across like that. Sorry, it's so small. But La Ninas and neutral ensos have basically no prominent storm track moving through this region, and that might be what this model is picking up on at this point. So that's all I have for this video, guys. That is our winter thoughts at this point. That is all the winter thoughts that I have at really right now, because we have 2 models to go based off of. We're looking very long range, and we will know more in June than we know in May. We'll know more in July than we knew in June, and we'll know more in August than we knew in July, and so on and so forth until we reach winter, and we'll obviously know a lot more then. So stay tuned with us. Be sure to subscribe. Tune in daily. We're going to be bringing daily videos, obviously, but about once a month I'll be making one of these, maybe even more, and we'll be talking about the upcoming winter. For today's confidence tab, for obvious reasons, we're at a 2 out of 6. Not really feeling confident in this one. We obviously have some idea of these things, but this is going to flip-flop a lot here. My confidence is below 50% here. Just a highly requested video in general. For today's patron, highly thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dove Nagel, Lord of the Pan, Mandy Virgil, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carter as well. I would also thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Cuddle, Catbite, Charleston, Bill Dallas, Garys, and John Khaleesi also. I'd also thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Finn, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.